Hey guys, Steve Alexopoulos here with eXp Realty. I got Omar Kiki, my good friend here, rock star agent, making a huge impact on social media, and just got him here, asked him a few questions about the business. Welcome, Omar.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Absolutely, man. And just to start off, just kind of maybe tell us, how long you've been in the business for, how you got started, and why you got started in real estate.
Yeah, I started about 3 years ago. I come from an engineering, construction, project management background. Why did I start? Because I'm passionate about the industry. I love helping people. I've been an investor in the industry, and it just made sense for me to kind of make the switch to real estate.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned, investing is important to you. Is that something you're currently doing, or you're looking to do in the near future?
Yeah, I've been doing it before I joined real estate, but you can never invest enough, in my opinion. Always looking for new investment opportunities and helping people also invest.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
And obviously you've had some great success thus far. What would you say are some kind of key factors that have contributed to your success thus far?
In real estate?
Yeah, in real estate and in life in general too, actually.
Yeah, transparency, honesty go a long way. Being client focused, being passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
I'm not a salesy person, so you get an honest service with me, and people like that. They refer me their family members, and that's like the biggest compliment to me. Being able to being a self-starter and teaching yourself new things, always new tricks, also helps you stay on top of things.
Yeah, for sure. And just to kind of rewind a little bit, to go back in the past.
Yeah.
Before you were in real estate, what were you doing?
Yeah, I mean, in high school and university, I've kind of worked a lot of sales jobs where I was just, minimum wage jobs just to kind of pay the bills.
Yeah.
University, I did engineering, so I was working construction on the side. Then when I graduated, I worked for a couple of years as an engineer. I wasn't as passionate about it.
Right.
I still enjoyed it. It taught me a lot, but it wasn't my calling, for lack of better words.
Right.
And so, after a couple of years of doing that, I just went and tried different things again, and I knew that I want to combine my passion for helping people and my passion for construction and homes,
right,
and kind of do something in real estate.
So what was a typical day like for you when you were in engineering, and what's a typical day like for you now?
Somewhat similar but completely different.
Right.
And in engineering, for example, I'd get into the office at 8 a.m., clock in, do a lot of paperwork, drawings, review contracts, speak with tradespeople, other contractors, and a lot of stuff that I wasn't passionate about, let's just put it that way.
Right.
3 hours would pass by and it's only 10 minutes, so just time wasn't moving for me there. And real estate is just different. Every day is different.
Right.
You're doing something you enjoy. At least for me, I'm doing something I enjoy. So, from the minute I wake up to the minute I'm done, like working, I'm constantly like doing something. I'm having fun, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you weren't passionate about what you were doing before. So now obviously you're passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah.
What are you passionate about exactly?
I love helping people. I love providing good service. I love something we're talking about is giving back.
Yeah.
It's just being able to provide a good service, and even like giving the keys to first-time home buyers is just such a rewarding job.
No, 100%. And I mean, rewinding back even further than that, I know that you were into bodybuilding and fitness in that, right?
Yes.
And so you competed in that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So do you find doing that and, doing what you're doing now, are there any similarities between the two? Because I know, coming from a sports background myself, I take a lot of the, disciplines I learned doing that, and, with mixed martial arts and bodybuilding, that kind of thing, into what I'm doing now. Is that something that you've kind of used?
Absolutely. A lot of the stuff you do in, bodybuilding or even MMA in your case is applicable to running a business, especially in real estate. You still got to be dedicated. You still got to be driven. You still got to be ambitious. You still got to have the vision. You still got to clock in when it doesn't feel like you want to clock in and do the work. So yeah, I carry a lot of that dedication and disciplines with me in, running a business. And I think anyone who's running a business should carry those skills and traits, I want to say. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I mean, a lot of the, like back, taking the hits, for example, back when I was doing kickboxing and MMA, it was like, you're taking hits, but then when you get into real estate, you're taking hits too.
Hits,
You're still taking hits. So that doesn't really change. So I think like, in your case, anytime you have a kind of a sports background, it gives you a little bit of an advantage when you get into the actual business.
For sure, because you get to learn, like, not every punch means defeat, right?
Right.
So I'm sure in your case it's been little punches where like you've had to get up and keep fighting until you win. Same thing with real estate. Some months you're gonna go for months without a deal, or you might feel like the sky's falling down or the market's crashing. So you still got a prospect. You want to quit. You want to start something else. I don't know, but you still got to clock in. You still got to do the stuff that you don't feel like doing, and you still gotta do everything right.
A lot of new agents I talk to, I have these conversations quite a bit where people are kind of like against the ropes and they're like, man, like, should I just quit? Did I do the right thing? What would you tell those people that, let's say, have been in the business for 5 months, they're having a hard time, they're not able to get a deal, and they're thinking about quitting? What would your message be to those guys?
Great question. Depends on the person. Right? If you're doing it for the right reasons, then you're gonna see rewards soon. Just don't quit yet. If you're doing it because you watched a Netflix show and you think that's what real estate is, you're just gonna join, and a couple months in you're gonna be a millionaire. You're in it for the wrong reasons, and I'm sorry, but like, not everyone's gonna stay on the ship. Some people are gonna drown.
Right.
But to be more motivational here, just hang in there, because after a while you teach yourself how to have a routine, how to have a momentum, how to have a system in place, and you just need to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
I agree.
And one great book I would recommend you read is The Power of One More. It's basically staying in for one more day. It's doing one more phone call. It's doing one extra rep at the gym.
Love that.
And basically, you just gotta stay dedicated. You gotta stay motivated. And being in an industry that has such a high failure rate, you gotta have a bulletproof mindset.
100%. That's from Ed Milet, right? That book.
Yeah.
So obviously the real estate industry it's always changing. There's always kind of new trends coming to the forefront. What do you do to kind of stay at the top of your game, both in the real estate industry and, in your personal life as well?
Yeah, I mean, networking, learning from other professionals in the industry, such as yourself, any other bigger agent than you, having a mentor, attending seminars, attending trainings, having a coach even, reading books, are all great ways to keep yourself in the loop. I even research like news and speak to mortgage brokers, lawyers, just to kind of know what's going to happen next and get updates on the market. So there's definitely multiple ways you can kind of keep teaching yourself new tricks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've been in the business 3 years now. I know for myself, for example, I've seen some crazy things happen, funny stories. I got embarrassing moments. Any funny stories, embarrassing moments, or crazy things that have happened to you in the last 3 years?
For sure, being in the industry, even for a couple months, you'll deal with some funny stories. So, yeah, I've dealt with know-it-all dads. I've dealt with hoarders. I've dealt with super low-ball offers. One story that happened actually recently is we went to show a home, and I wasn't sure if we're at the right place, but it was the right address, and so there was no lockbox at the door, and we didn't know like how to get the key, but the door was open. So we walked in, the lights were off. So as soon as I walk in, I knock on the door and say, hey, hello, anyone in there, just to make sure I'm not surprising anybody. No one answers, so I'm like, okay, great.
Walk in anyways.
We could show the home. We booked it for an appointment. And as I'm showing the main floor, great, we go to the second floor and I'm opening the bedrooms, and I open one of the bedrooms and someone's sleeping in the bedroom, right?
Yeah.
So it was just one of those where I had to slowly close it back and kind of crawl out of the house. And I'm not sure if I broke and entered into some random person's home or if I actually showed the right home, but I've never...
Maybe 50-50. Maybe
Yeah,
you went into a house that
So if I
wasn't for
broke and
sale.
entered into your home, I'm sorry. I was just stressed out.
So one thing I always like to ask people is, some people are really good at prospecting. Some people are really good at networking. Some people are really good at, cold calling. One of your things that really stands out, and the reason, one of the reasons I met you before I even knew who you were, before I met you physically, I saw you on social media.
Yeah.
So obviously you have a very good social media presence. You always
thank you.
have. Well, I wouldn't say you always have, but you do now.
Yeah.
So how did you build that, and how do you leverage social media to build your business and your brand?
Yeah, I've tried many different ways of like reaching out to my clients, and I think social media is like one of those ways where it's not too salesy, it's not in your face. I just want to post out content that provides value to my followers.
Right.
From updates to tips and tricks about the market. It's just like a way where I could just put it out there and kind of people teach them something new. I wasn't always great at social media. Started when the pandemic started. I just, everything was shut down and I wanted to try something new. Like, let me kind of figure out something useful to do with my time being locked in.
Right.
So I just told myself, I'm going to post one post for a week. One post every week for a year.
Right.
And after a year,
Nice.
if I see any results, I will continue doing this. And if not, I'll just stop doing it. I was a person who never posted, right?
Right.
And when I did post, I got...
Yeah, because you like, there's a side to you that's kind of introverted, right? Like, you're not a super loud, like, in-your-face guy all the time, right?
Yeah,
so typically
yeah.
you see a lot of those people on social media, but I would say you're pretty calm most of the time, right?
I've been told I'm soft-spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe I charge when I'm alone, but also, like to kind of socialize sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest, but I'm not someone who's in your face, like super loud and obnoxious. No, I don't think I'm that person, but I feel like a lot of people just kind of see me and get an image of who I am on social media, and then when they meet me in person, I don't know if you get the same impression or if it's a different impression, but...
Well, I think if you're being real to who you are, you can make a huge impact. And, you're a really good role model for a lot of people that are kind of maybe afraid to really, hit social media hard because they think maybe they're a little soft-spoken as well. Just because you are, or you fit a certain personality mold, it doesn't mean you can't do it and be successful at it, right? There's different personalities, and I think any personality, as long as it's real, could have a big impact on social media.
I agree. There will always be a reason for you why not to post on social media, or why not to do that extra one call, or why not to go to the gym, or why not to read this book, right? But you always kind of want to stay optimistic and stay positive. And when I first started posting on social media, I wasn't getting a lot of engagement, and I could have easily said, like, screw it, I don't want to do this anymore. But it takes time. Things take time, and after a while, if you're posting something that you believe has value, people will eventually notice it and kind of start engaging more. And that goes with everything. Like working out, first day you go to the gym, you're not going to see any results.
Yeah.
Well, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
exactly.
After a couple of months, you're going to notice something. And social media is the exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned, you make one post a week every week. It's not much different than, making sure you go to the gym every day and you do it for a certain amount of time, and you'll see the results over time.
Yeah.
I think the mistake most people make is they post one video here, a month later they'll post one video, 2 months later they'll post one, and they say, I didn't really get anything, right? But, you had a system, obviously, it sounds like, where, you make sure every week, same day, not maybe same day, but at least you're doing it consistently once a week, every single week. Don't miss a week, right?
Well, that's like what scares me about people joining real estate, is that they join and a couple of months in, they're like, oh, I'm not getting any checks, I'm not making any impact, I want to quit, right?
Right.
That's why I said, if you're doing it for the right reasons, you're gonna keep doing it, and then eventually you're gonna have an impact. But if you're just doing it to get a quick check or a quick, I don't know what, like you want results today or tomorrow, you're not gonna notice any, and then you're gonna be discouraged to post more or to do more phone calls or to reach out to clients.
Yeah.
And that's why people quit, in my opinion, or from what I've seen anyways.
No, I agree 100%. What would you say sets you apart from other agents? And how would how do you feel like you're differentiated versus your competitors or other real estate brokers or agents?
Yeah, I mean, there's good agents out there and there's bad agents, obviously, like any industry. I built my business on referral. So like obviously provide a great service, and then people are happy, great, then they become walking billboards for me. They refer me to friends, family, and that's the biggest compliment, and I'm extremely grateful for that.
Right.
Being honest, transparent, being ambitious about the industry, being passionate about what you do, it kind of shows when people deal with you, and they want to work with someone who just as happy to help them buy a home as they are excited to buy their next home, right? So yeah, honesty, transparency, not being too salesy, providing value, obviously having a white glove service. It all goes hand in hand to what sets me apart, I think.
Excellent. So you've been in the business 3 years. You've had some great success thus far. Where do you see yourself in the next, 2 to 3 years, in terms of kind of growing your business, and expanding your client base?
Yeah, I mean, just going through the past 3 years, I've had a lot of ups and downs. The market has shifted. We've gone through a pandemic. I've learned a lot from trial and error. I want to continue to learn. I want to continue to grow. I want to hopefully grow a team and start giving back to my team as well, and kind of start servicing more people. Who knows, maybe in 5 years I'll have my own office.
Yeah. So you see yourself growing a team, you see yourself eventually having maybe your own office in 4 to 5 years. What about growing a team or office is attractive to you?
Just being able to give back, just being able to service more people, just being able to help more people. That's the most rewarding part of my job.
Yeah.
And if I'm able to do it on a bigger scale,
yes,
that's to me the most I could ask for.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100% with that. I've been in the business, just around 10 years now, and I think eventually you've done a lot of sales, and the next sale isn't as you're helping people, but it doesn't give you the same kind of reward as helping somebody new in the business do
Absolutely.
it.
You could do a lot of sales and hit a lot of big milestones, and that's great. But after a while, especially like you could probably speak on this a little bit more than me, but after a while, it's like, okay, I've done it all. I want to make sure. I mean, you could never do it all, but you could achieve such high milestones that, okay, now I've done this much. I want to be able maybe to help someone else hit this much, right?
Yes.
So like, yeah, if I'm able to do that and just be a good leader, a good coach, I'll be extremely happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, finally, obviously you made the move over to EXP.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell us a little bit why you decided to do that, and why maybe you feel the future of real estate business is EXP.
Yes, absolutely. So EXP, they used great technologies that I'm a fan of. They have lower fees compared to other brokerages. They have multiple streams of revenue that I'm also interested in learning more about. And there's a lot of big agents that have joined EXP that kind of inspired me to make the switch as well.
Right.
Yeah, so far so good.
So you mentioned, multiple streams of income is one of, a motivating factor for you. Why do you feel like different streams of income or passive income is important for you in your life?
Because active income is great when you are running.
Right.
Passive income is great when you can't run anymore, right? And so for me, right now, everything's going good, but I want to think ahead. I want to think long term. Right now, I could sell homes and I'm happy with that.
Right.
But what happens in, you know, down the road 10 years from now when I can't sell anymore, right? I want to still have a revenue stream that I can still kind of live comfortably without having to worry where my next paycheck gonna come from.
100%. Yeah, I mean, for myself, exactly like you just said, you can only sprint for so long.
Yes.
And eventually it helps to have something to fall back on a bit. I mean, most, you know, real estate brokerages, they don't offer an exit strategy.
Of course.
Right? And I think I think that's what's really attractive with EXP is there really is an exit strategy. And it's real. And I know it's real because, you know, I see the checks coming in and, you know, instead of getting, a coffee card from Starbucks when I get a deal, I get real money.
Yeah.
And it's something that is real, and it's something that has changed my life personally.
Of course,
and you know, one of the reasons, you know, that I talk about it a lot is because it's changed my life and I want it to change other people's lives as well. So I'm really happy you mentioned that about the, you know, the passive income. Because again, like you said, you can, you know, eventually the battery doesn't burn out completely, but it might not be as strong, you know, when you're 55 or 60 as, you know, you are when you're younger, right?
And I think a lot of realtors are entrepreneurs and investors before they are realtors, right? So having that investor or that, I don't know, what do you want to call it, that instinct for, you know, having passive income or, you know, wanting to grow more than just, you know, settling in for a set salary. You know, I'm pretty sure everyone would enjoy like EXP's model because of that.
Absolutely. So Omar, I think that's it for today. I know I asked you a lot of stuff there.
Appreciate it, yeah.
But I'm happy you came by.
Thank you.
I'm happy to have you on board, and you know, I'm happy we're business partners now.
Yes, of course.
And look forward to seeing a lot more of you around, man.
My pleasure. Thanks
for coming.
Thank you.